Interesting road facts about Milford Road, New Zealand. Milford Road, officially known as State Highway 94, is more than just a route through New Zealand's South Island. It's a journey into some of the most awe-inspiring landscapes on Earth. Winding its way from the lakeside town of Te Anau to the world-famous Milford Sound, this stretch of road slices through the heart of Fiordland National Park, a region so rugged and remote it feels almost untouched by time. As you drive along Milford Road, you pass through a constantly shifting landscape. One moment you're surrounded by dense beech forests, and the next you're gazing out over vast valleys carved by ancient glaciers. Mountains rise abruptly on either side, their peaks often shrouded in mist or dusted with snow. Waterfalls cascade from cliffs after heavy rains, sometimes right beside the road, adding to the raw beauty of the experience. Perhaps the most dramatic part of the journey is the Homer Tunnel. Dug straight through a mountain of granite, this tunnel is nearly 1.2 kilometers long and feels like a portal to another world. Emerging on the other side, travelers are greeted by the plunging cliffs and lush green valleys that lead into Milford Sound, a sight that leaves most visitors speechless. Milford Road also has its challenges. The region gets some of the highest rainfall on the planet, and avalanches are a serious concern during the winter months. But dedicated road crews and avalanche control systems keep it open as much as possible, allowing adventurers to continue exploring this wild part of the country. There's no gas station or mobile signal between Te Anau and Milford Sound, adding to the sense of isolation, but that's part of the charm. Interesting road facts about Hana Highway, Hawaii. The Hana Highway, also known as the Road to Hana, is one of the most iconic scenic drives in the world, located on the island of Maui, Hawaii. Stretching about 64.4 miles from Kahului to the town of Hana, this winding road is famous for its lush landscapes, waterfalls, and dramatic coastline views. What makes it truly unique? First off, the road features a whopping 620 curves and over 50 narrow one-lane bridges, many of which date back to the early 1900s. Driving it feels like navigating a natural roller coaster through a tropical paradise. It was originally built for sugarcane transport in the early 1900s, and construction involved blasting through volcanic rock and carving through dense rainforest. Despite its age, the road remains a marvel of engineering and resilience. Along the way, you'll find hidden gems like the Twin Falls, the Garden of Eden Arboretum, and the stunning Wailua Falls, not to mention opportunities to spot native Hawaiian wildlife and unique flora, like rainbow eucalyptus trees. Locals say it's about the journey, not the destination. That couldn't be more true with Hana Highway, with so many stops, black sand beaches, bamboo forests, secret swimming holes. It's an experience that invites you to slow down and soak in the natural beauty. Though the drive can take up to 3 hours one way, many travelers make a full day or even overnight adventure of it. Just be ready for narrow turns, potential rock slides, and little to no cell service. Interesting road facts about Ebenezer Place, Scotland. Ebenezer Place, found in the small town of Wick in northern Scotland, holds a fascinating claim to fame. It's officially recognized as the shortest street in the world. Measuring just 2.06 meters long, or about 6 feet 9 inches, it's shorter than most people are tall. This quirky little lane owes its existence to a man named Alexander Sinclair, who built a hotel in 1883 on the corner of Union Street and River Street. When the local council insisted he add a name to the small side of the building facing the newer road, he painted Ebenezer Place above the door. That single doorway became the entire street. For over a century, Ebenezer Place quietly existed without much attention until the Guinness World Records took notice and gave it the title in 2006. Since then, this tiny stretch of pavement has attracted curious travelers and trivia lovers alike. The only address on the street belongs to the entrance of number 1 Bistro, which is part of Mackay's Hotel, making it both a culinary stop and a record holder. What makes Ebenezer Place even more delightful is how unassuming it is. Tucked in a peaceful Scottish town, it offers a photo opportunity you won't find anywhere else in the world. Standing there, you can literally span an entire street with your arms. It's a perfect example of how the world is full of charming oddities waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places. Interesting road facts about Cloud Forest Drive, Ecuador. Driving along Cloud Forest Drive in Ecuador is like slipping into another world, one draped in mist, echoing with bird calls and pulsing with life at every curve. As you leave Quito behind, the altitude begins to drop rapidly, and with it, the landscape transforms dramatically. In just a couple of hours, you descend from the high Andes into one of the planet's most lush and biodiverse ecosystems, the Chaco Andean cloud forest. The road itself twists and turns through steep mountainsides, often hugging cliffs with jaw-dropping views. Fog hangs low over the asphalt, often so thick it seems to erase the horizon, giving the feeling that you're driving through the clouds because, in fact, you are. The cloud forest earns its name honestly. Here, the forest drinks not only from rain, but directly from the mist, a phenomenon called horizontal precipitation. As you descend, the air grows warmer and more humid. The green deepens, and suddenly you find yourself surrounded by life. Orchids cling to tree trunks, hummingbirds dart between blossoms, and the eerie call of a howler monkey might echo in the distance. This area is home to hundreds of bird species, many found nowhere else on Earth. It's a living paradise for bird watchers, nature lovers, and the occasional lucky road tripper who stops to soak in the view. The road isn't without its challenges. Landslides are common, especially in the rainy season, and the curves can be sharp and unguarded. But the adventure is part of the charm. Along the way, roadside vendors sell fresh tropical fruits, and signs beckon toward butterfly farms, orchid gardens, and hidden waterfalls just off the main drag. Cloud Forest Drive isn't just a route from one place to another. It's a journey through altitude, climate, and time. It connects not just cities, but ecosystems, from the peaks of the Andes to the verdant, mist-veiled forests below. Interesting road facts about Sani Pass, South Africa. Tucked high in the mountains between South Africa and Lesotho lies a road that's more than just a route. It's an adventure. Sani Pass is one of the most legendary mountain passes in all of Africa, winding its way up to an altitude of nearly 2,900 meters above sea level. This isn't your average scenic drive. It's steep, rugged, and full of tight switchbacks, with breathtaking views and heart-pounding drops around almost every turn. The road is so challenging that only 4x4 vehicles are legally allowed to attempt the ascent, and for good reason. The terrain is rocky and often washed out by heavy rains, and during winter the whole pass can become a snowy, icy gauntlet. What makes Sani Pass even more fascinating is its history. Originally, it was nothing more than a narrow bridle path used by pack animals, mostly donkeys, in the early 20th century. They would carry wool down from Lesotho and bring supplies back up from South Africa. It wasn't until the 1950s that it was widened enough to be navigable by motor vehicles, and even now driving it is considered an extreme challenge. But for those who take it on, the rewards are spectacular. Panoramic views of the Drakensberg Mountains, dramatic cliffside scenes, and if you make it all the way to the top, a chance to visit the highest pub in Africa, perched right at the Lesotho border. Sani Pass isn't just a road. It's a test of courage, a slice of history, and a wild, unforgettable ride through some of the most dramatic landscapes Southern Africa has to offer. Interesting road facts about James Dalton Highway, Alaska. The James W. Dalton Highway, often just called the Dalton Highway, is one of the most extreme and remote roads in the world. It stretches 414 miles from just north of Fairbanks all the way up to Dead Horse, near the Arctic Ocean. Originally built in 1974 as a supply route for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, it still runs alongside that massive pipeline almost the entire way. Despite its importance, only about 100 miles of the road are paved. The rest is gravel, prone to massive potholes, mud, and ice, making it a real test of driving skill. It's so rough that rental car companies often forbid their vehicles from being driven on it. The Dalton is incredibly isolated. There are only 3 small settlements along the entire route: Coldfoot, Wiseman, and Dead Horse. No real towns, no fast food, no mechanics, not even reliable gas stations unless you plan carefully. Travelers are advised to bring extra fuel, tires, food, and survival gear. Temperatures can swing wildly. Winter temperatures often plunge to negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chill, while summer brings mosquitoes in terrifying swarms. There's also no cell phone service for most of the journey, just endless wilderness, yet it's breathtakingly beautiful. The road crosses the Yukon River, traverses the massive Brooks Range, and passes through the Arctic Circle, where you can experience 24-hour daylight in summer. Wildlife like caribou, grizzlies, wolves, and musk oxen roam freely. The Dalton gained pop culture fame thanks to shows like Ice Road Truckers, showcasing the brutal conditions truckers face delivering essential supplies to the oil fields. Today, the Dalton Highway remains not just a vital industrial lifeline, but a legendary route for adventurers chasing raw, untouched Alaska. Interesting road facts about Bosphorus Bridge, Turkey. The Bosphorus Bridge in Turkey is one of the most iconic structures in the world because it connects two continents, Europe and Asia, in a single span. This magnificent bridge stretches across the Bosphorus Strait right in the heart of Istanbul, blending engineering excellence with cultural symbolism. Completed in 1973, it was one of the longest suspension bridges in the world at the time, and it remained the longest outside of the United States for several years. It was officially opened on October 29, 1973, a date chosen to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Turkish Republic, which added deep national pride to its unveiling. The bridge is massive, measuring about 1,560 meters in total length, with a main span of 1,074 meters. The deck is suspended by steel cables and stands approximately 64 meters above the water to allow ships to pass underneath without any trouble. Every day, around 200,000 vehicles cross the Bosphorus Bridge, making it an essential part of Istanbul's daily life and a crucial connector between two worlds. Originally, pedestrians were allowed to walk across it, but today it is reserved only for vehicles except during special events. One particularly fascinating tradition is the annual Istanbul Marathon, during which runners get a rare chance to cross the bridge on foot, starting in Asia and ending in Europe. Another remarkable feature is that the bridge is illuminated at night by a dazzling system of LED lights, creating a spectacular sight that reflects beautifully on the waters of the Bosphorus. The Bosphorus Bridge is not just a piece of infrastructure, but a living symbol of unity, progress, and the unique spirit of Istanbul, where East meets West in breathtaking fashion.